Hello, just letting you know that I'm here, and I've also got a Facebook page and a Twitter with the same name as the channel, Spiritual and Energy Work with Wendy. Just letting you know if you want to message me there. I want to talk about something which isn't so great but happens in the spiritual and psychic world, and it's energetic knives and hooks. People can put these knives in us and put hooks in us. It's an energetic practice. Sometimes they know they're doing it, but sometimes they actually don't know they're doing it. But I want you to know it does happen. I've actually seen the knives and the hooks symbolically, so I've seen them as long or short or thin. A good psychic or intuitive will actually be able to see the visual. And I think if you are releasing it from your aura, we want to talk today about how to get rid of them, you will actually also perhaps see them. The knife is sort of put in with a nasty comment or a thought or a bit of cursing or some anger. I've actually felt when they've hit my aura. I remember sitting with someone at coffee and we were having a conversation, and she just said something really, really, really nasty about a family member of mine, and I felt it actually lunge and hit in my chest, in my heart chakra. I could feel it. And it actually had like a little almost after effect. So what she was doing is she was throwing a psychic knife at me. Whether she wanted to do this because she was being mean or malicious, I don't know, or whether the comment that she said was so horrible it hit me in that way. But the whole thing is that they will be there. People throw them. They can, when they talk about being stabbed in the back, it's quite literal, but it's also quite psychic. So people will stab you in the back. That's when they're talking behind your back, and you can land around with a lot of psychic swords in your back. I remember going to the homeopath, and he did some work on me, and he said to me, "You've got a big knife here in your heart from your mother." And I didn't know what he was talking about. He said, "It's not a real knife. It's a psychic knife that she put in there." And he said, "I'm just going to take that out." And he did a practice where he put his hands there and he visualized taking it out, and then he put white light there, I should think. I didn't really know what he was doing, but now I can understand. And put healing there. Just put his hands there to heal it, and he removed the knife. And that's why I'm doing this podcast, particularly because if you know where the knives are or where people have knifed you or felt it, I want you to remove them. So you just do a quiet meditation. You go to that place, you might visually see the knife, and you literally almost use your hand to pull it right out of your aura, right out, right to the edge, and release it out. If you feel you haven't done it properly, just go back and do it again and take the knife out. It's all energetic. This is energy work. But taking the knife is good. Then fill that part with love and light. Put gold light on it. I usually put gold light there. And sometimes you can put like a little bit of energetic cotton wool there, a little band-aid there, because remember it's made a hole in your aura. And that's why the knives are bad, because when they go in, they make a hole in the aura, and then the energy from your aura can leak. And that's why they're bad. If you don't know where the knives are, but you know you obviously had them because you've had some backstabbing friends or family, and you just know it, what you need to do then is do meditation and ask that Spirit guide you to where the knives are, and that you ask they be released, and close your eyes and release any knives from any part of your aura and let them go. Some of the knives are past life knives too. If you've been with someone before, they could have lodged knives in you and you'll still have them. And if you've got someone that you've got a difficult relationship with, you've probably got past life knives. I know somebody who was talking about my son, actually, one of my sons. She was very psychic, and she said he had like a long, big, I suppose it looked like an arrow, but it was longer than an arrow, that had lodged in from the front to the back of his body, and she could actually still see him. Some people actually see people walking around with the weaponry, which I don't see in that way, but I can. But some people have actually seen the knife or seen the weapon and seen how big it is or how small it is. The knives are very bad to have in the aura, as I've just said. Get rid of them, release them, ask them to be taken off and released from you, and do not throw knives yourself. You will often know if you're doing it because you'll have intention, so don't send it. And if you've done it, do meditation where you say you're sorry to the person, energetically, of course, telepathically, and remove the knife and send them healing. Because we've all had our anger issues, and anger usually hate and rage, they are very good senders of knives, because the things we want to do, we can actually do energetically without realizing it. Be aware that when we send the knife, it does damage energetically. And that the words we use sometimes, I'd like to kill you. I wish you would die. I was so angry with him. You know, if he was here, I'd bloody stab him. These things we say, and we do say that when we're heated. I mean, maybe you've never said them and whatever, but I know people have said them. And these things energetically are very powerful, so try not to do that. The hooks are a little different. Hooks will look like a hook, and the person hooks into you. It's a power thing, and when they've got their hooks in you, they can get you to do what they want, and they can manipulate you. And actually, the hooks are very bad for you. People will say, oh, she's really got her hooks in him, or he's got his hooks in her. And they're actually talking about psychic hooks. The hooks are to control you, because what it is that they put the hook in, and energetically it will have a cord back to them, and they yank it. So if you're not behaving yourself, you get a little pull. Sometimes you can even feel that with people, that they are pulling you, and you can feel the hook effect of being pulled. The same process for the knives is for the hooks. You see them where you think they are, take them out. I usually pull them and loop them out, release them, and then do the healing work on them. Fill with light, fill with love, put some gold on it, and a little bit of spiritual bandaging. Hooks are not good to have in the aura either, because they cause leaks, and they like the knives disturb the flow of the energy of the aura. I'm not keen about hooks and knives, but they do exist, and they do exist past life as well, and that's reality in the psychic and spiritual world. But the good thing about it is you can remove them. If you think somebody's got a knife in them, because you're probably quite psychic and spiritual if you're listening to these podcasts, if you're with someone and you kind of just get that visual of, oh my God, they've got a knife in their heart, I don't think you necessarily have to say anything, but you can go home, do meditation, see them, and literally hold your hand and almost physically put your hand out to where the knife is and pull it out. Just pull it out for them and do the process of the healing and the spiritual bandage. Because people don't believe some of these things exist, even though they do in our world. And if we see them, we can take those knives out. People often stick knives in the solar plexus. I notice the solar plexus, the heart, and the throat. And they also stick knives in the base chakra to control us from there. No, and the back, of course. Knives are used all over the place, and so are hooks. If you think someone's got hooks, you can do the same process and take them out. I always do it with the idea that I'm taking this out for you. If you want it back, you can have it back, but I'm taking it out for you. When I've taken it out, I always send it to the light. I don't send it back to the person, because then I'm setting up the same roundabout thing of that they knife me, I knife you. It's not good. It's not good practice. So I just send it to the light and ask for it to be healed. When you are people who are knife throwers and put the hooks in, I suggest when you have to have any contact on the mobile or in real life, you put protection up around that area that you think they aim for. I know exactly a spot on me. It's just a little bit above the heart chakra, and that's where they've aimed. When I have to deal with people, I just put the protection up from in that spot. If you know, protect it. I usually see it like a big shield, big energetic shield of white light, and that will protect you from getting knifed or the hooks coming in. People, particularly with the hooks, will try and reattach. Be aware of that. So you would have spent a meditation, you've taken all your hooks out, you're back with that person, and they will try and hook back in. Sometimes you'll get off the mobile and think, oh my God, they hook back in, or you've been with them and you're like, oh damn, they put them hooks back in there, because your reaction is that you're feeling manipulated or controlled by them again. So you know they're putting on the hook. So you just do the meditation again and take them out again and turn them to the light. Do the work, because the problem with it is that, one, it's not a good feeling, emotionally, and it's not good to practice. But two, your aura leaks energy, and that's not good to have lots of holes in the aura. This is an interesting podcast. I think you will find it interesting, but I know that you know it's true. I know many of you listening today have felt the knife go in, know where the knives are, and also the hooks, know when they're pulling and tugging at the hooks. I wish you love and light, and I hope things go well for you this week.